You know, this is our 9th Fire Summit, but I think almost every Fire Summit I've interviewed Chris Epling, an artist, because he's doing so many exciting things with our students and our teachers.
Thanks, Ron.
Because of what you've done, several students have published books, gone into become writers and all this. But right now, so Chris Epling, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ron.
But you're working now on podcasting.
Yeah, that's a whole different medium altogether. It's been a jump, but how this came to be, we actually produced a podcast for the Holler, and it was an interview-based podcast interviewing entrepreneurs in the communities who are using art in some way to build their business.
Right.
Everything from architects to tabletop game designers, everything. So based on that podcast, the Holler wanted to branch out and start to see kids create their own. So they have to learn about all the parts of a podcast, and they're documenting their process through their grant. So whatever grant they applied for and have been accepted for, they document their journey from not knowing exactly what's going on to, next year having this completed project.
What do you see as the value of students learning about podcasting?
Well, podcasting is a form of, there's so many different forms of it, but how we're approaching it is it's documentary based. So it's collecting information, processing the information, talking about it, and critiquing it. And then on the other end of that, kind of talking about what they learned.
Yeah.
So it gives analytic skills, communication skills, then the process of actually stitching all these, the technical part. So, anyone could talk into a microphone, but then the behind the scenes stuff where you take those small little segments, you edit together, you make a transition so it's nice, opening music, and then, those sorts of things, all those editing processes. So it's a complete course on the Holler. It's done, it's finished. Last year with the graphic art course, we completed half of the course in the fall and the other half in early spring. That worked pretty good, but having the entire course ready to go from day one, it's so much better that way.
Okay. I know you did a podcast for a gentleman in Whitesburg, John Heywood.
Yeah, I did, John. Sure, tattoo artist.
Tattoo, and the reason I mentioned John is that we will be uploading a video. At my age, a baby boomer, I lost both my parents. I was from North Dakota, and so I took a picture of a buffalo this summer before my mom's funeral, and then I told John I want to have a buffalo with my parents' name on it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so he scanned the buffalo in, did the other artwork, and so it'd be too much trouble for me to show the audience or have to take everything off here. Yeah. But I have a really nice buffalo that John Heywood did.
You have one from John?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'll show you a picture of it after we finish the program.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, so he
that's
did
really neat.
But what's neat about that is you got John, who is a great visual artist, painter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a tattoo. He's a musician, and so he's just he creates a lot of different items.
Yeah, John, I was blown away. I was told that I needed to go see him, and I didn't know what to expect. I just heard he was an amazing artist, and he was a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting what I found. I found a guy who is focusing. His art is completely it's Central Appalachia.
Yeah.
He focuses, like as you know, his themes. If he was to sit down and paint something himself, he would pull in themes from Central Appalachia. So here he was, creating art about the culture, and then on top of that, his work is so unique. It's so different. He's got his own style, and then on top of that, he plays the mandolin and I mean, it's unbelievable.
While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and so what I like about right there it is.
Oh wow, Ron, that is really good.
Great?
That is wonderful. And you have your parents' names down here.
Yeah.
That's so his work. You can tell just by looking at it.
And so that's what's neat about artists. I mean, to create materials, and he's very entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Several people are employed through that shop. Whitesburg is you got all the young people there creating content. Apple Shop's getting ready to celebrate its 50th anniversary next year. Along with KVAC, we're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary. But there's a vibrancy in Whitesburg because of young people creating their own jobs and creating content.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I went there recently for the Oktoberfest
Yeah.
and spent some time there, and just seeing how there's so much culture there.
Yeah.
And you got like Doug Adams, who really does the sculptures. I get a feel almost like you're from like the Pacific Northwest a little bit, with his sculptures of these, like they look almost like totem poles.
Yeah.
You know, to get that idea of feeling. But John, though, that's kind of an example of what I'd like to see all communities kind of be like. You know, I love art, so I look at it always from that standpoint. And he is creating some amazing stuff.
Now, if people want to see your work, they can go. You have a web page.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's just my name, ChristopherEpling.com. So
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Wolf Pit, up in near Elkhorn City.
Okay.
That's where I live and work now. I left for a few years and realized that I wanted to come back. And I think it's important. A lot of folks, they want to leave. Leave. They think all these opportunities are away from here. But like John and Lacey Hale,
Yeah.
I like to see artists and just individuals, especially entrepreneurs, say, well, I'm going to go back and create what I didn't have, what I wanted for future kids. It wasn't there. I left to have to go find it. I'm not going to leave and stay here experiencing it and enjoying it. Why not come back and create what it is for other people? That is, to me, I love that. I love that aspect of art and entrepreneurship.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
love
much.
the tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We done?
Yeah.
Okay.